What's up, y'all? I'm Malachite, born in Philly, ATL raised, and I am here on Industry's Most Wanted.
Said you wanna get to know me, yeah. Told you you don't wanna peek in here, 'cause I'll get you thinking down the rabbit hole, sinking, make you feel like a treatment. That's why I say away.
Hey, what's going on, man? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live.
Industry.
The big one, not the little one. Industry's Most Wanted. Look at this beautiful young lady I got checking in today. Malachite, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Look, y'all, she came through with a good energy, positive vibes. Give us a brief introduction. I know you're an artist.
Yes.
Introduce yourself, and then we're going to dive in.
So I'm Malachite. As I said earlier, I am from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, but I was raised in ATL, Metro Atlanta. I'm a new R&B singer. I'm so excited. This is my first single that premiered on the 16th of May called Still Don't Know. And it's just really about just finding yourself, not having all the answers, just vibing, coasting through life.
Absolutely. I feel like we all go through that on a daily sometimes.
Yes.
But you know what I've learned in all my big years of life is that living in the moment is the best way to be.
Honestly.
We have to plan for our future.
Right.
We have to set goals, etc. But living in the moment, because I feel like if we think about stuff too far in the future, it stresses us out. We have no control over it.
Exactly. And that's kind of like where I was at when I made the song, because I feel like when you meet new people or you get into relationships, everybody wants you to have it all together. And
Yes.
sometimes that's just not where you are at life. So that's why it's Still Don't Know, because I don't know.
I know that's right. And that's okay. And that is absolutely okay. So you've been releasing music for a short time professionally, but it feels like you're a seasoned artist.
Thank you. A lot of people say that. I really just started making and creating music 2 years ago. I've been singing my whole life. I grew up in church, so I started in gospel and stuff like that. But like me creating and writing, this is brand new for me.
What brought you over to the secular side?
I feel like I grew up in a Christian household, but I wasn't really religious. And I think my parents knew that. I'm the black sheep of my family. I do everything different. I'm just different. So I was always just doing my own thing. So it never really felt like I had to cross over anywhere.
Yeah.
It just felt like I'm just doing what my heart's telling me to do.
It was very natural for you. But I'm on the same way. I'm very much on my spiritual journey.
Nice.
Because I grew up also in a religious household, and I was at church twice a week. But I feel like I pull a little bit from each religion, not to
Same.
get. But
Yeah.
you know, so it's like maybe we need to create our own religion.
Right. No, definitely, because I have friends from all different religious backgrounds, and we never really made a thing to try to convert anybody.
Yes.
So we always just kind of leaned on each other for different insights with different books. Like one of my friends was Buddhist at a time. So I learned a lot of things from a lot of my friends who had different religions. So I kind of feel the same as you. I just pull from everywhere.
Yes.
And I feel like as long as you keep love in your heart and you're not being self-destructive to yourself or to others, then you should be on your path.
I agree. 100%. Where do you pull the vulnerability and the emotion that comes in and pours into your music?
So other artists definitely inspire me, like Frank Ocean, Brandy, Summer Walker, and then definitely the Most High. I mean, whenever I feel like I need to sing something or write something, I do it immediately.
Yeah.
Because that's when I know I'm at my truest and my rawest. I can schedule a time out, for practice, obviously, and do it. But me, when I create my best stuff, it's like just at random times. And that's how I know that's God.
Absolutely. I feel like in the moment, as they would say, that raw emotion is where your best work is going to come from.
And I don't know why, but I feel like I do really well under pressure. I don't like that about myself. But if I know I have to have, if I have a studio session, right? And I only have an hour, I'm like, okay, I really want to do this new song. I don't have anything written. I swear to you, things will just start coming. But if I have a whole month to plan, nothing's coming. I'm like, what is this? But I don't know. Under pressure and God is what gets my songs going.
You know what that is? That's that them Taurus vibes. Because I work the same exact way. I work so good under pressure. There are times where, not intentionally, but things maybe get pushed to the last minute. And then I always feel like I do my best work. Because I know I have to get it done in the moment.
You have to get it done, yeah. And it's like, I don't know, I just kicks in the adrenaline and I'm just going, and it always turns out great. It works out, so I can't complain.
That's that big energy, big Taurus vibes. Absolutely. So you grew up in Kennesaw.
Yeah.
You're now based in Ackworth. First and foremost, Kennesaw is beautiful, and so is Ackworth. Absolutely. How did your environment, where you grew up, shape who you are as an artist, maybe the things that you talk about in your music?
Yeah, I think for me, I was just always the person that just, well, first, growing up, I grew up with all different types of people. So different type of cultures. I never just had one culture. Even my school, I went to North Cobb High School. We were like the most diverse school in Cobb County.
Yeah.
So I listened to all music, all genres, never a problem for me. Especially being a black girl, they have a certain image that they want you to portray. And I always got told, why do you listen to that? Or why do you like this? And it's like, I don't have to listen to one thing because I look like this one thing, you know? So I definitely pulled from everywhere. I love jazz. I love a lot of rock. I love some country, rhythm and blues.
Yes.
Definitely R&B, of course. So I really just pull from everywhere.
Do you tap into other genres yet at this point yourself, as far as creating from other genres?
So that's a good question. So I do freestyle to all genres.
Okay.
I've even freestyled to some rock before. I just like trying everything, you know what I'm saying? I just love trying new stuff. So right now, R&B is the pocket that is fitting for me. But it always makes me nervous because I don't want to be in a box, because I'm so fresh right now and I really don't know what all I can do. So, it makes me nervous to feel like if I go to R&B, everybody's going to see me as just R&B.
Yes.
But, I mean, it's okay. I mean, I like alternative R&B as well. So, hopefully I'll get more beats with that and just try to make my own genre.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Absolutely. And, whether you start now or later, it opens you up to a broader audience.
That's true.
But I feel like you can capture where you're at now, kind of perfect that.
Right.
And then, okay, boom, now let's move on to this next one. And it just opens you up to that broader audience. That's the goal, right?
Right. That is the goal.
We don't want to just be locally known.
And alternative pop and stuff like that. So you're right. I don't want to just be locally known. I definitely also want to just branch out everywhere. So
she's an international superstar, y'all. Like, listen, she get it right. Put some respect on it.
Y'all heard her. Put some respect on it.
So I know you've been singing since a young age. You said gospel first, and of course you do R&B now.
Yes.
But when did you really discover that you had a voice?
That's a good question too. So I've been singing since I was 3. I think I sang a note one day, and my mom's friend, he said, "Whoa, she's got a voice on her. She's gonna be a singer." And here I am. So I've always sang. I was always the lead in everything. Funny thing is, I really didn't know I could sing. I thought it was just everybody could. I just felt like I was just maybe the best one. It wasn't until I was like in 7th grade, my dad had bought me the singing game for Xbox, and I just kept beating the computer, beating everybody. And then one day it just clicked, and I was like, I can sing. So I just got obsessed and addicted to just singing every day, singing Mariah Carey, Whitney. Like I was really just singing everything I could. But I still kind of stayed to myself with it. I was still a little shy, so I didn't really do too many talent shows and stuff like that. I felt like my parents kind of like forced me to do it. So then I went to a performing arts school. It was when I was in college. And they sang all types of music, gospel, secular. And that's when I started to really practice. But I feel like at that time, my world got rocked because those kids were amazing. And I'm coming from singing one genre, which is gospel, and my little covers at home, and I don't think I really knew my voice, so I don't think I did as well. But I'm so grateful for the experience because I was able to know what I needed to work on, and I got some really amazing training. So that pushed me to now, and now I found myself, or
Absolutely.
A little bit. So
moments like that will definitely push us to step our game up.
For sure, because I mean, I didn't have the stage presence. I didn't have nothing going on, and I'm sitting here like I just want to sing, but they were coming in to get booked.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I was just coming in as a shy little girl trying to figure out, well, I just want to sing and dance, but They trying to find agents. We doing labels and all that stuff. So of course, you know, my anxiety kicked in. I think I started to really play it small after that because I was like, I don't know if I could do this for real. So
you absolutely have a gift, though.
Thank you so much.
And I'm glad that you're honing in on that, because I feel like there's a lot of people who have a gift and they either don't realize it,
right,
or they're not utilizing it. And I feel like we have to be obedient to what God gave us, right?
And you know what? That's so amazing you said that, because it almost feels like I'm not doing this. It feels like the Most High is pulling me. I promise you.
Absolutely.
Like the last 2 years, I've been through so much with this one song, and it felt like, why can I not get this one song out? Like, why is it every time I'm scheduling something traumatic happens? Or why is it every time something's scheduled, my car breaks down? It felt like it was always something, but here I am. And it's like, I know it wasn't me. And it feels like my eyes are closed, but I'm just doing it. And that's how I know God is just carrying me through this journey. And, you know, I already have a college degree. I have a psych degree. I could have did that. I also have a CNA license as well. I have a lot of stuff, but music is what God wants me to do. I'm just listening at this point.
Do you feel like you are fulfilling your purpose through music?
I do.
Yes.
Ever since I was a child, I've been signing autographs. It's really weird. Every talent show, every show, somebody comes up to me and is like, you're going to be something one day. Can you sign my hat? Can you sign this? I remember I did a talent show with the Deltas, and I got third place. And the lady came up next to me and she says, I would have gave you first place, but you were just standing there. You were so shy. Once you work on your stage presence, it'll be better. But she said, you made me cry. She's like, can you sign my water bottle for me? And I was like, of course. And it didn't hit me then, but I feel like all of that was signs of where I'm going to end up. And I feel like I've been indirectly manifesting this, because every time I listen to music, I vision myself on stage, not even realizing I'm doing it, and I'm here. So my manifestations are just unfolding.
Listen, we have to believe in manifestation. I believe that a lot of things that come our way is because we manifest them. What we put out to the universe is what we receive back in.
100%.
That's why we have to put that love and kindness out to the world in order to get it back.
You're going to get it back.
That's right.
100%.
Absolutely. So we talked about a couple people, vocalists, that you were inspired by.
Yes.
Give us like your top two and tell me why those particular artists really inspire you.
Oh, top two. Brandy for sure. Brandy was my first everything. I mean, even being my first Black Cinderella, she's absolutely amazing. Her vocals, her soul. I like singers that I can feel.
Yes.
It's not enough to be just a good singer. There's so many good singers out here, but if you don't really have that energy and that emotion in your vocals, then it's not going to be as felt. Because some people have soft vocals like NDRE, and you could feel her soul. So for me, well, she has more than soft vocals, but some of her songs are very soft, but you could feel it with your whole soul. So Brandy for sure. For now, this generation, I would have to say Summer and SZA.
Okay, yeah.
And the reason why is because the writing is so deep, but it's on beats that everybody can relate to. Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Not everybody wants to hear deep stuff all the time, and I understand that, but I feel like we're missing that right now.
Absolutely, because I feel like Summer Walker and SZA are female vocalists that men will listen to.
Yes.
Like you said, their beat selection, that's where the difference comes in.
Yes.
Because a lot of men don't ride around listening to women singing. They just don't, but when you create a certain sound and you select the right beat, they're going to listen to it too.
They're going to listen to that. And SZA be coming in with that bass.
She does.
But she's talking about heartbreak, okay? But you're going to tune in. And Summer too. Summer comes on it and you just feel her off rip.
Definitely. So with these vocalists that inspire you, how do you incorporate what you learn from them into your music?
Definitely. So with Brandy, just the soulfulness, the runs, all of that, I try to incorporate. I'm still new, so I know with vocal lessons, that'll get better. With Summer and SZA, I really just try to use a lot of imagery, because with SZA, she'll paint the picture. Yeah. So will Summer. SZA will be like, it's a hot summer day, or she said, the white bitch with the blonde, or the bond, what is it? The bob.
The bob.
Yes. Sorry, the bob. So you picture that in your head. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So when I write, I try to make it conversational, or just, I want my listeners to really think about a time and a place. I want them to envision what I'm saying. And I feel like that's the best music, when your listeners can really connect to what's the scene. You setting the scene up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. What's been the scariest part of your artistry, but also what's been the most freeing part?
The scariest part would be trusting. When I first started, I had a lot of people pulling at me when they first heard the song, because I've been playing this song around Atlanta for at least a year now, and I didn't even have the second verse done. So I was just playing the first verse, just trying to get some insight, like, y'all like it? They're like, hell yeah. So I've had a lot of people hit me up, I want to work with you, telling me this, telling me that. Then this person's like, no, you can't work with them, or this is a bad contract, a bad deal. And as a female, it's very disheartening when you figure out, okay, why would this person put me in this situation, and why would this happen? I've also had a couple run-ins with different engineers and producers. It didn't go well. Trusting was very hard for me, and it still is. And I'm glad I met my PR, Callie. She's amazing. And she's a female, and I want more females on my team.
Yes.
Just because I need that backing, and she don't take no shit. And she gonna let me know.
That's right.
She gonna let me know. There she go in the back. Hey, Callie, that's my girl. And we just met, but she's also helping me. Like, look, you gotta trust me. You gotta trust what I'm saying, and I need that. So because this is a male-dominated industry.
It is. It absolutely is. But one thing I've learned in my previous life, I did outside sales and marketing for a company, and that's where I learned a lot of what I do in this life.
Nice.
And the company was owned by 2 men. And I remember specifically, if a female would come in there, like a salesperson or whatever, they'd be like, bring her on in. If it was a guy, they're like, man, boom him out of here. Women typically can put themselves in positions to get their foot in the door because, one, women trust other women.
Nice,
we don't feel that pressure. And then men, of course, just like to look at women.
Right.
So it's like women have that upper hand. I agree with you. Having women on your team is extremely important because she has your best interest at heart.
Exactly.
Big difference.
Big difference.
Would you say that music has become a form of therapy for you?
100%. It's really my only therapy right now. Anytime I'm feeling any type of emotion, I just use that as a time to get it out. And really for me, it's not just about me creating. I need to listen to other people's stuff for me to really feel better sometimes. I really can't go a day without it. And now that I'm more advanced in my music, sometimes my music is really the only thing I want to listen to when I'm going through it or having a hard time. So I take all experiences and all lessons and I put it into my music, and I use it to make me better, and I use it to get it out, and I'm like, all right, it's done now moving on. So
that human element kicks in, right?
Quick.
And as we were talking about before we came live, is that women have emotions. That emotional element kicks in.
I'm an empath.
I am too.
So
we're like the same person.
No, literally. And it's hard for me to date because
I'm with you.
A lot of men, they like to say I'm emotional. I know I have that side of me, but sometimes y'all just be acting up. And I'm just more in tune, and you don't want to hear it, but it's cool. We ain't gonna talk about it. But yeah, I am an empath. I'm very sensitive, and I think that's also what helps my music as well, is that anything I do, I put my emotion into it, and it's felt. So
you need to, if you're gonna date, it has to be someone who's emotionally intelligent. I've learned that, and my biggest hang up with that whole situation is setting boundaries. I never used to do that.
You onto something.
Man.
But that's because you're an empath and you're so concerned with making sure everybody else's boundaries are felt. But then when it comes to you, they're not able to perceive that.
Yes.
So now when you're like, well, for the past 6 or 7 months, I've been dealing with this. So I'm asking you to well, I didn't know. It's because we naturally like to give second and third chances because we see people as human. But I also think empaths are healers. And I think that sometimes we unintentionally attract people we need to fix. And we also attract narcissistic people, and they like it too. They want us too.
Girl.
It's an energy they've never experienced, and I've always been told that my whole life. I've always been told I have different energy. Anytime a guy dates me, the number one thing I get is my energy and all that. And I think sometimes as an empath, you gotta keep a bubble around you because people will harvest that. They'll take it.
Man, I just got chills when you said that because it is facts. I always find myself in relationships with unhealed men. I become their healer to move them on to the next situation.
Yes.
And then here I am left with all these years that I put into it and nothing. Never again.
And no, seriously, never again. And then they don't see it till you're on your last and you're ready to go. And now you change. I'm already checked out, buddy.
Exactly.
I'm checked out.
Emotionally, I've been checked out.
Mentally, I'm checked out. And now you get it now after 2 years. No.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it can be exhausting. But for me, I'm really working on setting boundaries up front.
Yes.
And I think it's hard at the same time because when you've gone through so many experiences, people might look at you when you're getting a fresh one like, oh, why are you acting like that? Or calm down. Or no, I'm not going through this again. You know what I mean? And they just, I don't know. It's hard. The balance is hard.
I'm right there with you because I'm experiencing that now because I get that. Calm down. It's not that serious.
It's like it is, though.
It is that serious.
What's your intention? What's going on? Because if I don't clarify these things as an empath, you gonna run right over and I'm gonna let you do it unintentionally. Now I look like the bad guy because I had to take a year of your mess and now I'm all upset and you didn't see it coming. No.
And now you pour it into your music.
Now I'm giving it all to my music.
I know that's right. If you could go back and talk to yourself before you were releasing music, before you started releasing music, what advice would you offer yourself?
So I would give myself advice on just really knowing that you can only control what you can control and not everything's going to be perfect. I struggle with being a perfectionist, and I think it's because I always knew that my talent wasn't made. I knew that I have to work and I could be better, and I'm going to always strive to be better, but I always felt like coming in, I wasn't made. So I always put this pressure on myself to be where everybody else is that's already been in the game for so long, and it's just not possible. And I spent wasted money on trying to do this and do that. I can only do what I can do.
Yes.
And I can't skip steps. And I feel like I would try to skip steps, then nothing happens. Now I'm stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like I would write a song and I'm like, it needs to sound like this, and you just wrote it. You know what I mean?
You have
calm
to
down.
Give yourself
Let's
some
perfect
grace.
it. Let's go in the studio. Let's record it. I'm already thinking about this and I'm thinking about that and who's the top this and who can. I can only control what I can control, and that's just the only advice that I would give myself, and to take my time.
Yes.
Because when you rush in to do stuff and you're not ready, then that's going to open a whole new set of doors that you don't want. So I'm really just trying to enjoy what I got going on, practice, train as much as I can, and just let life take me where it needs to take me.
And please understand, you are not alone, because there are so many artists that I talk to who give me a very similar answer. They were extremely hard on themselves in the earlier stages. Then they learned they had to give themselves some grace. Like you said, you can only control what you can control.
I can only control what I can control. And I think when I first started releasing little snippets, I was getting so much positive feedback that it made me nervous. Like now I have to perform a certain way. So that's also what kind of contributed to me always wanting to get the highest of the highest or the best of the best. Sometimes it's just not needed, you know?
Absolutely.
So, like, I'll be the type to be like, oh, I gotta go right here and get this camera and rent this out. Just put your camera up and sing.
Exactly.
It's not that deep.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, we can't please everybody.
We can't.
Nor should we try to.
And that's what I'm learning too. I can't please everyone.
No.
So
tell us about your clothing brand.
Yeah.
And how your personal style meshes in with your clothing brand.
Yeah, so I actually have new fresh designs that are coming out. I just literally am creating it the past month. I have tanks. Okay. I've got regular t-shirts, sweatshirts that have Still Don't Know on them. I've got some limited edition Malachite necklaces that are going to be on the website as well. And then with my personal style, I love scarves. You can see I have one on now. Yeah. I love wearing scarves out the back of my hats. So I'm definitely going to have some hats that are going to have scarves coming out the back. anything with the head, I love.
Yes.
So I'm going to have all types of stuff, do-rags for the men. The ladies will have some with butterflies on it. So it's going to be some cool stuff.
Those scarves are very cute. I actually went through a phase where I was wearing scarves, and it looks so good with the long hair, too.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. What is the website where people can shop with you?
Yeah, so they can go to www.officialmalachite.com, and it'll have my new events that are coming up. So I'll be performing Juneteenth, Saturday at 4:30, so you guys can tune in for that. I also have a show on the 24th with Apache, so all of that will be on the website as well, and then just some videos on there for my new song that's released as well.
Awesome. You're also expanding into sync licensing.
Yes.
What kind of scene, show, movie would be a dream for you to have your music premiered in?
Ooh, I know they have a different type of sound, but I love Euphoria, so it would be cool if I could work on something with them. Definitely will manifest that. Issa Rae.
I love
anything
her.
that Issa Rae has. Issa Rae, I'm manifesting this. We gonna work. Because I also act as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually went to the performing arts school I told you about earlier for acting. And I gave that a little break just to focus more on singing. But yeah, I act as well. So once this kind of settles in, oh yeah, I'm going back.
I wish that she would have never ended Insecure. I literally watched the entire series 3 times. That's how much I loved it.
Me too. 3 times. We're
the same person.
Like literally 3 times. I love that series. It's one of my favorite, actually.
Yes,
So
me too.
if she ever brings it back, we gonna work, Issa Rae. Yeah, I'm speaking in existence, ma'am.
You need to star in it, and your music needs to be in it as well.
You heard that?
Yes.
You heard it, Issa.
Definitely. I'm going to have to look to see if it's still on HBO.
I think it's on Netflix. Unless they took
Netflix?
it out. I know they kind of were going back and forth with it leaving and coming. So I think it's on Netflix. But I'm going to check that out.
Absolutely, because that was one of my faves.
Yes.
Because I will go back and watch it a 4th time. I'm just saying.
Oh, I will, for sure.
Shout out to Jay Ellis with his fine behind, too. I was like, damn, okay, I'm locked in on this one.
No, he's fine. He is.
Definitely. Let's talk mental health.
Yes.
You've talked about the pressure of just, having it and keeping it all together. How do you personally manage that pressure, especially when it comes to you having to be creative in the public eye?
Right. So I think for me, social media can really clog your head. So I try to take breaks. I also try to just not compare myself. I think I do that a lot. As soon as I hear another singer, I'm like, crap, she can sing this note like this, and damn, I can't. I have a talent, and I can only focus on my talent. There's so many amazing, beautiful singers. I'm sure there are some singers that could, run circles on me with their singing. But one thing that I know is I have my gift, and that's all that I can express and share. So I can't worry about what everybody else has going on. There's always going to be somebody bigger, better, prettier than you. But when you know you the it, then that's all you're going to focus on is the fact that you the it.
Absolutely
and
correct.
I'm trying to tap into that it. So I'm the it. And that's all I got to worry about.
And I feel like once you realize that is the moment when you can give yourself grace. You're not going to go so hard on yourself.
100%.
Because that almost takes the joy and the fun out of it when you're always pressuring yourself to do this, do that. I got to sound like this. I got to look like this. No, just do what feels right for you.
And my engineer, shout out to Tony OG, he's amazing. He engineers a lot of my covers and my music, and that's one thing that he always encourages me is because I always ask him questions. I don't think people are going to get this, or does this sound right? And he's like, Malachite, just do what feels good for you. It doesn't matter.
Are you talking about Tony OG, I Am the Connect? No,
not him.
Okay.
I am affiliated with Tony. My project manager is KJ. So
I didn't know he engineered.
So he definitely has introduced us. But no, this is another Tony OG.
Got you. Mm-hmm. That's one of the most important people in your career. There's a lot of important people. Of course, your publicist, if you have management, but your audio engineer to get your sound, especially as a vocalist, It's more tedious work to engineer and mix a vocalist versus a trap rapper.
100%.
How did you connect with Tony OG?
So I actually went to a industry event with a girl named Naquasia, and she does management and a lot of other things. So I signed up, I went to the event, and we had to get an industry template made.
Okay.
So I played like 15 seconds of my song. Well, actually I played the first verse and chorus actually. And after I played it, he was like, "Shawty, you hard, overly hard." And I was like, really? Because this was last year. This is when I was first branching out. I actually started in a group. We were a group for like a year, still trying to find ourselves. And so I had just left the group. And so that's when I went to the event, and he was like, "You got it." And I was like, really? Oh my gosh, so shy, like, thank you, whatever. And so he hit me up. He's like, "Come to the stew."
Wow.
So I came to the stew, and he was just like, "You got something special. Like, if you gonna take this serious, like, you gotta do it because you can." And so ever since then, we've been locked in.
Did he take the song that you played and re-engineer it for you, or was it already fully mixed and mastered?
It was actually already done. We've done my new music, and just all of my covers that you hear is engineered by him. So yeah, but we are still working on my new music. So the next song I come out, all those after that will be definitely from Tony OG for
Got
sure.
it. Mm-hmm. Do you enjoy performing?
I do. The one thing I'll say is I'm trying to get out of my head because that takes the fun out of it for me. If I have to go on stage and think about what note I have to sing and think about what steps I'm taking, that takes the fun out. That's why I try to really make sure I'm overly prepared, because I do struggle with anxiety.
Yes.
And so I try to leave that at the door, and the only way that that's really possible is if I'm overly prepared. So I know, like, okay, if I forget it, muscle memory kicks in, and I don't have to really lean on, like, okay, remembering this, my body's gonna do it for me because I've practiced it so many times.
Absolutely.
So it's freeing. Performing is very freeing when you're out of your head. You know, you can connect with yourself, God, the audience, you know what I mean? But when you have so many limiting factors in your mind, then it just takes you out of it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm like you. I overthink before I even get there. I'm like, well, what's the parking going to be like? How's the traffic looking? Who's going to be there?
Right.
I almost talk myself out of going because I worry about all that.
Yes, I'm worrying about all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And it stops me from doing everything in my life. And I'm trying to really just let go of that. So
Yes, it's difficult.
It is.
It can be difficult. Who would be somebody that you would dream of sharing the stage with?
Okay, that's a good question. Dream of sharing the stage with. Okay, so I didn't mention her earlier, but in terms of like just rocking out, Doja Cat.
Okay.
Doja Cat is an amazing performer. I have seen her twice now. She blows me away. Her music's amazing. I would love to do like a R&B pop song with her as well. I mean, she's definitely up there as an inspiration. Her melodies, her tone, her creativity is amazing. And I know if I got on the stage with her, I would have to show out. You can't not show out with Doja Cat. Like, what? So, yeah, I would love to definitely share the stage with Doja Cat one day.
Doja Cat, we're manifesting it. Collaboration, tour. Is that something, speaking of tours, is that something that you've thought about maybe doing like a promo type run, promo tour?
Yeah, so I have a consultant / manager. Shout out to Mr. Bills. And we've been talking about a lot of stuff like that. And of course, me and Callie will sit down and decide what we're going to do moving forward. But yeah, that definitely is in the works.
That would be amazing. I find that those type of promo runs, media runs, however you want to word it, really puts you to that next level because you're breaking into markets maybe you haven't touched before.
Right.
Getting media exposure.
Right.
Doing performances. My business partner, shout out to OG Bigger Rankin, he's been in the industry for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
That's how he's broke a lot of artists into the industry. He's the one that's broke Lucci into the industry. We'll use him as an example.
Wow, nice.
He takes them on what he calls street and greet tours. They'll perform, they'll have a meet and greet, they have an interview, and they'll go to all these different cities, and now you're gaining an audience that you may have never had. What city have you been to outside of Atlanta that showed you a lot of love?
Honestly, I don't think I've ever performed outside of Atlanta. So since I'm brand new, like this is really like me. People are seeing this from the ground up. Seriously.
Where would be somewhere that you're like, man, I would love to go there, whether it's driving distance, flying distance, where would it be for you?
LA.
Okay.
I love LA. I just like the vibe when I went out there, and I love the West Coast. So definitely would love to go out there and do some shows. I will probably be doing that for sure. So yeah, I feel like LA would show me love. I feel like they would.
Do you feel like Atlanta is your forever home?
Yes. I want to move other places, but I want to have a stationary home
Makes
here.
sense.
So that's why I will say yes. I definitely want to move to LA. I might want to see what's going on in Miami.
Girl, Miami's a vibe.
Yeah, Miami's definitely a vibe. So I would love to do that. But as far as like, I'm going to always have a house, yeah, Atlanta for sure.
Absolutely, because like they say, there's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
There's no place
sure.
like home. I love Atlanta too, but Tampa's always to my heart is going to be home for me.
Oh, that's where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Tampa.
Nice.
Yeah, born and raised. I've been in Atlanta since 2013 though. I've been here for a long time.
Dope.
I've been coming here since the 90s. I used to come out here for Freaknik because I'm a true OG. What y'all know about that?
So actually, Mr. Bills, my manager / consultant I was telling you about, he's actually one of the founders of Freaknik.
Really?
Yeah,
I would love to meet him.
Yes, he didn't get to make it today, but definitely, yeah.
I would love to. I watched the documentary and I was like, am I going to see myself? I didn't see myself on there.
Back there getting freaky.
Girl, you know what was so dope about that era of Atlanta? And I love the era we're in now, but back then it was just so free. Like, it was just me and my homegirl. We were teenagers. Came up here, we felt safe.
Right.
There was, of course, there was a lot of rowdiness, but we never felt unsafe. And I was like, that's what made me fall in love with the culture of Atlanta. So I'm going to live there one day. Yes. I feel like now if they try to do something like that, it would be out of hand.
Right. Yeah, I think so too. I think it would get a little turn left or something. Yeah.
Right. So we've been talking about your single, Still Don't Know.
Right.
It carries a lot of vulnerability.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to listen to it multiple times.
Thank you.
Was it challenging to let your voice just sound so raw and open in that song?
Actually, no. Well, so I recorded in two parts. So the first verse and the chorus I did last year, actually 2 years ago, I'm sorry, and I left it alone. And then last year, the end of last year is when I went back and recorded the ending part, like the I'm breaking free, yeah. So that part, I had to write it last year, and the challenging part with that was trying to match the energy.
Right. That's what I was just thinking. But you did a phenomenal job.
Thank
because
you so much.
Listening to it, I would have never have known that they recorded like a year apart.
Yeah, so I had to really match the energy, and I think that's why I struggle with my freestyle sometimes, because I'll do the freestyle and then I know I need to add stuff. And when I go back, it's like, it doesn't sound the same, or something's off. So that's why I'm trying to get in the habit of finishing stuff in one sitting. But yeah, that was really the only challenging part, was just trying to make sure that everything matched energy wise.
Definitely. Is there an official music video for it yet?
Not yet. So people have been asking. I definitely am releasing little visuals just for some promo. And then once I know the song, starts getting more traction and trends a little more, I want to see what the numbers looking like, and then definitely want to film like an official music video.
Absolutely. You should probably also maybe do like a couple of the mic drop performances. Those are super popular.
That would be dope to do.
Great exposure depending on which platform you're on. So listen, content is king, right?
You're right.
We gotta have so much.
I'm gonna get on it. It's happening. It's happening, y'all. Stay with me.
So I know that you've been focusing on the single for a while.
Yes.
Are you looking at maybe an EP anytime soon?
I actually am. I really would like to try to drop something, at least 5 or 6 singles in the EP by like September, maybe October. But definitely going to be dropping singles like every 6 to 7 weeks for sure.
Absolutely.
Because I'm ready. I'm ready to just get it going.
That's right.
So I know people are ready for more as well. So
what are a couple of big goals? We've talked about a lot, but what are a couple of big goals that maybe we didn't talk about that you're manifesting right now?
Obviously the EP is one. Just really getting some funding and stuff so I can go ahead and create freely the way I want. And then I would love the end of this year or even next year, once I drop my EP, to go on tour.
Yes.
I'll really be blessed with whoever I go on tour with. I just want to perform and share my music with anybody that wants to listen. So.
Do you have any upcoming events or performances that we need to know about?
Yes, the Juneteenth.
The Juneteenth,
yes.
You did mention that.
The show in Apache, and then I have some other stuff. I just got to discuss it with my team, and then we're going to do some flyers and start promoting all of that. So
July, also, there's the Fleet DJ Music Conference, the annual.
Nice.
You might want to think about pulling up for that, too.
Okay.
It's, I think it's don't get me lying, I think it's the 17th through 21st of July. I'll be out there for a couple of the days doing interviews and stuff on location.
Dope. Okay.
But they've got panels.
Okay.
They've got producer workshops, DJ workshops. They've got performances. Pretty much all the people that you need to network with. So, yeah.
I love Kelly. She said she already knows.
She
okay?
said, I am on it, girl. I got this. Absolutely. Anything else coming down the pipeline that we have not talked about that everybody needs to know about?
I mean, we touched on mental health, upcoming stuff. I think we really touched on everything, really, honestly.
What would be one thing about you that a lot of people don't know that you don't mind sharing?
I think when my close friends that really get to know me, I'm goofy as hell. I really am. I'm weird. I really am weird.
Weird is good. I love weird.
I try to tone it and keep it together because I'm not ready for the world to see that side. But my close friends know I'm weird, y'all. So I really want to start showing that more because that is part of my personality. But, you know, they'll see it as it goes.
So I'm going to ask you a little weird off-the-wall question to go with that. What is something that you find yourself watching maybe over and over on social media that you're like, man, why am I watching this? For me, it's mukbangs. Watching people eat. Because I live vicariously through them. Like I told you, there's a lot of things I can't eat now. So I'm like, let me just watch their mukbang videos, right? Okay. What would that be for you?
All right, this is going to be really weird. But I like watching dermatologists.
Popping pimples and stuff?
I do. I like the release after. Yeah. I like that they're like, this feels so much better. I don't know why. I love watching it. I will scroll and just watch Dr. Pimple Popper, all that stuff. I just love watching just people just pop the skin and they're just like, yes.
I do too, because I remember my ex, he used to get blackheads, and I'd be like,
I do the same thing.
He'd be like, don't touch me, it hurts. I'm like, bro, let me just get them.
Like, please just let me get this one little spot right here. Yes, I get it.
So you're not alone on that. I enjoy it. It's just a kind of a weird thing that we enjoy, but it just gives us a weird kind of pleasure, right?
It does. I don't know why, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Absolutely. Where can people follow you on your socials?
So you guys can follow me at only.malachite, and Malachite is MALACHITE, and that's on all platforms. For Facebook, it's officially Malachite, but everything else is only.malachite.
Is Malachite a part of your government name?
It's actually not. So my government name is Morgan Alexandria. Malachite is a stage name that I came up with 3 years ago. I actually just randomly changed my name on Instagram, and I wasn't even really singing then. And so people kind of been seeing me transition for 3 years now. So it's kind of exciting to now like actually be doing this fully, and people from the beginning that has been supporting my snippets, they really get to see it happening now.
Absolutely. I feel like that's why doing things like this is important, because people can understand your journey, and then in hindsight, they can look back 3 years from now and say, remember when she did that, or when she did this? Look at her now. She's manifested and doing all the things that she talked about.
And it's scary in a good way, but I'm really proud of myself for pushing to get here. I think a lot of people, they don't really understand how much it takes for an artist to do this. Yes. And especially when you're independent and you don't have a team and you have limited funds, like you really got to figure out what I can do with what. And a lot of times in the beginning, you're stuck doing it all. And that's why I encourage for a lot of artists to really take their mental health seriously first. Because sometimes you just got to look at yourself and say, I can't do it all.
Yeah.
So if I can only put this video out and then this has to be next month, then that just might be what you have to do. And I feel like I was giving myself unrealistic expectations, and I don't have a team around me to help me do that. I'm going to go crazy because I still have to show up and make the music.
Yes.
So if I'm not creating, then I feel like I'm just taking myself out already. I have to be creating. That's what keeps me going. But, you know, the music industry, you got to know the business side as well. That's just as important.
Yes.
So I've been learning to find a balance, and I'm creating my team one by one, and a lot of my stress is starting to go down. It's still there, but it's starting to be a lot better for sure.
Yes, when you have a good team, a management team, you know, publicist or PR, I feel like now it's kind of like a weight lifted, because they can handle certain things for you that now you can focus more on being the artist.
Right.
Which is important.
For sure.
Giving yourself that grace.
Giving yourself that grace, truly.
Who do you want to give thanks to for supporting you through your journey?
I really want to give thanks to my parents for sure. They have always supported everything that I've done, and it's really, a lot of people don't have support from their parents or anybody. Yeah. So I'm just grateful for that. I'm grateful for my friends, Alea, Shanae, Tio, Acacia. Shout out to all my other friends that have really been with me in the beginning. My aunts, Cassia, just for always being there and pushing me to keep going, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to stop so many times, but they were like, you gotta do it. And my friend was like, oh my God, finally, I've been listening to this first part for 2 years now. And I'm like, it's happening. But yeah, it took a lot.
Well, I could tell you have very big, beautiful energy.
Thank you. So do you.
It's like radiating.
Thank you.
And that alone, let's not mention that she's beautiful and she has a beautiful voice.
Much love. Seriously, thank you.
Absolutely, you're welcome. But that big, beautiful energy is going to walk you through doors that you could never even imagine, because at the end of the day, nobody wants to deal with an a-hole. They just don't.
That's so true.
I deal with them a lot with what I do, and I quickly shut them out. I'm like, there's no amount of money that you can pay me to sit down next to me because I don't like your energy.
Wow.
You have beautiful energy.
Thank you so much.
It's going to open a lot of doors for you.
I really appreciate it. God bless you. Seriously.
I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
I just got chills.
You are so sweet. Thank you so much.
Of course, you're welcome. I've got one last question for you. We're on Industry's Most Wanted. We got to drop it.
Y'all know.
What makes you the industry's most wanted?
What makes me the industry most wanted is the fact that I'm bringing y'all new, clean, pure energy. I got some fire music out here, and I'm ready to take over.
I know that's right. Enough said. Clock that.
Clock it.
We out of here, y'all.
See ya.